I was in my early 20s when this happened, working long and boring shifts at a GameStop. My life back then was simple. I went to work, dealt with customers, came home tired, and repeated the same routine every day. Nothing exciting ever happened, and I never thought anything dangerous could come from such an ordinary place.
When a new seasonal employee named Amanda was hired, I actually felt relieved. Another woman working there made the job feel safer and less lonely. She smiled constantly and hugged me the first time we met, acting like we already knew each other. I ignored the uncomfortable feeling in my chest and told myself she was just being friendly. As days passed, Amanda stopped respecting my personal space. She stood inches away from me while I worked, leaned close when she spoke, and followed me everywhere in the store. Even when customers were around, I could feel her eyes on me, watching every move I made. She talked non-stop about movies, games, music, and trends, but she never once asked what I liked. It felt less like conversation and more like information dumping. Looking back, it felt like she was copying random interests, trying to build a personality that would fit into my life. When I finally asked Amanda to give me some space, her entire personality changed. The friendly smiles vanished. Her eyes followed me everywhere. And when I casually mentioned that I had a girlfriend, she turned pale, started shaking, and then suddenly hugged me tightly, smiling like nothing was wrong. A few nights later, while riding my bike home in the dark, my brakes suddenly failed. I crashed hard onto the pavement. When I checked the bike later, I realized the bolts hadn't snapped. They had been loosened carefully. Someone had tampered with them on purpose. Soon after, hateful notes began appearing in my jacket pockets and on my bike. They were filled with slurs and threats and were written to look like they came from someone else. Whoever was doing this wanted me isolated, confused, and scared. One day, we finally caught Amanda in the act of planting another note. The moment she realized she'd been seen, something snapped inside her. She lunged at me with a fork, aiming directly for my eye, her face twisted with rage. I fought back with whatever I could grab. There was screaming, blood, and complete panic. It ended with her on the floor and me shaking uncontrollably, realizing how close I had come to being seriously hurt or killed at work. Amanda was fired and arrested, but the damage stayed with me because I learned something terrifying. Obsession doesn't need love. It only needs access to your life. This happened when I was 18 years old, during my senior year of high school. My life felt normal and safe back then. I had friends, a steady boyfriend, school activities, and a family that looked out for me. I never believed that something truly evil could grow inside such an ordinary life. It started online, quietly and harmlessly. A stranger added me on social media. At first, it felt like nothing more than an awkward message, but soon the comments became strange, then uncomfortable, then threatening. Someone was paying attention to me in a way that felt wrong. Then the messages became real. Notes appeared inside my house. Someone had walked through my home during a family gathering and left a message meant only for me. That was when fear settled in. Whoever this was didn't just know my name, they knew where I lived. Not long after that, someone was seen outside my bedroom window late at night, watching, standing still in the dark. When my family found out, my uncle stepped in. He promised to protect me. He parked outside our house at night and told us not to call the police. The harassment escalated fast. Cruel messages attacked my body, my past, and my insecurities. They mentioned things only family knew. I felt exposed, violated, and powerless, like someone was peeling away my sense of safety, layer by layer. One night, a rock smashed through my bedroom window while I was asleep. Glass flew across the room. I screamed and ran for help. Fear became a constant presence in my life. Sleep no longer felt safe. Silence felt dangerous.
Every time I begged my family to call the police, my uncle convinced them to wait. He said he was handling it. He said we could protect ourselves. I trusted him because he was family, and family is supposed to keep you safe.
One night, my boyfriend arrived unexpectedly and caught someone outside my bedroom window. He tackled the person to the ground. Neighbors came outside. Flashing lights filled the street as everyone realized something was terribly wrong. When the light finally hit his face, my heart dropped. It was my uncle. The same man who claimed to protect me was the one stalking me, watching me, terrorizing me. The betrayal hurt worse than the fear ever had. There was no real justice, only silence, shame, and a family permanently broken. I learned that night that sometimes the most dangerous people are the ones closest to you, the ones you never think to fear.
I met him through a dating app, and at first, everything about him felt safe. His messages were calm, polite, and thoughtful. He didn't rush anything. After so many bad dates, that calmness felt like relief, and I let myself believe that maybe this time would be different. When we finally met in person, the date went perfectly. We talked for hours, laughed easily, and shared stories about our lives. There were no red flags, no uncomfortable moments, and no pressure. By the end of the night, I felt comfortable around him. After our date, I decided to walk home through a nearby park. It was late, and the path was mostly empty. Halfway through, I felt that strange sensation that someone was behind me, even though I couldn't hear anyone clearly. I slowed my steps and listened carefully. Footsteps echoed behind me, stopping when I stopped, starting again when I walked. My heart began to race as I told myself it was probably just my imagination. When I reached my apartment building, I felt relief. I unlocked my door quickly and stepped inside, locking it behind me. I stood there in silence, listening, trying to convince myself that the fear would pass. Minutes later, my phone buzzed. It was a message from him. It said he hoped I got home safe. I stared at the screen, confused because I never told him where I lived. Then came another message. He said he liked watching me walk. My chest tightened as I realized the footsteps in the park hadn't been imagined. Someone had been following me, and they knew exactly who I was. Suddenly, there was a knock at my door. Slow, calm, intentional. I stood frozen, afraid to breathe. I knew without checking who was standing on the other side. I called the police and stayed silent in my bathroom until they arrived. By the time officers checked the hallway, he was gone. No footsteps, no explanation, just the knowledge that he knew where I lived. I moved out a week later and deleted every dating app, because sometimes the most dangerous people don't reveal themselves until they're already inside your sense of safety. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe my channel. See you on next videos. Till then, goodbye.